Hi guys! Welcome back to another Colorful Keto with Dory. So, this evening we are getting together with Sahil from Headbanger's Kitchen. If you don't recognize it in the background, not my normal style of music, but that's what we're listening to today. And I can't lie, I kind of love it. Like, a really lot, just saying. So, we're going to wait for Sahil to come join us. And I'm super excited to talk to him today. It's been months and months since we got to hang out with him. So I'm super excited. We're going to hear what's new with him, what's going on with him, and what's up with this new book he has available. I want the dish. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys tonight. Yay! There we are. I'm so excited. And you could still shake it to this, just saying.
Hello.
Hello! Do you see I'm shaking it to your music today?
That's awesome. Good morning.
Good morning. It's evening here. I'll tell you what, it's 8 o'clock at night, but it's 7:30 in the morning where you are. We're having coffee together though.
Yep, we are. I got my black coffee.
Your morning, my bedtime coffee, it works.
Yeah, of course.
So we are so excited to see you today. I've seen some news on your page, and I want to start there, dude. You have a book. Tell us.
Okay, well, so it's not exactly my book as such, because the recipes are from the company itself. Like, it's 100 recipes, I think, out of which the dessert recipes are all mine. They are my recipes. But the other recipes are from their catalog. So their catalog includes like a lot of low carb books and a lot of like garden to grill and things like that. And they basically said, we'd like to sort of convert these recipes and make them keto friendly. So my job was sitting down with like 300 recipes, shortlisting 100 which I thought would be like really great for everyone, and then sort of editing those recipes to make them keto and calculating the macros, and then writing all the keto info for the book and stuff as well. So it was more of a work for hire rather than a Sahil author a book for us.
Well, that's okay. It's still your book though. You still are featured in it. And you helped create all the recipes, so we want to know where we can find it. Where do we get that book?
Yes, so since it's an American publisher, it's available, I guess, all across America in whatever bookstores they supply to. Okay. And they also have it on Amazon, which it's sold out now, which is not a bad thing at all. So that's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it sold out I think there were only like 15 copies on Amazon, but they all sold out in the first hour or so. So I was like, yay.
That's because we love you. Yeah. It's because we love you so much.
Oh, you guys are too kind.
Well, I can't lie. When I started keto, your recipes saved my life. And your style is so fun and so down to earth. And I can't lie, I kind of like it when you swear on live.
Yeah, all you got to do is get me to talk about controversial topics, and I just like,
Right? I love it. I love it when I can catch your morning live. Because when I catch you on Instagram, I'm like, oh my god, hearts. I'm the crazy heart lady. Everybody's like, oh, clearly Dory arrived because all the hearts are through the roof.
Yes, you got to make an entrance.
So, we haven't talked since, before your tour. So, I want the scoop on that, too. How did that go?
Oh, that was a really good trip for me. Playing 10 shows back to back. Good fun. Had a good festival appearance in that as well. I love the UK. I was really cold over there, but I still enjoyed myself. We sold a lot of merch. Most of the shows had good turnout, so it was overall a very good trip, and I stayed back as well, and I had 2 keto meetups which were really, really awesome. So I did one in London and one in Brighton, and met up with a bunch of keto people and had a drink and spoke about keto and just built a little community almost.
Oh, I love it. I love that keto is a community unto itself. Because you know what? You're in India, I'm in Canada, and we can still hang out. We can still be keto family. We can still, trade recipes, be friends online. And this community brings us closer and closer together every day. So we're just thankful to have you be a part of it with us. And what about your lovely lady? Is she off at work, or can we maybe beg like a quick little wave from Priya?
Dipti, and she's not there.
No, she's not there.
She's off already, so I'm not sure when she'll be back. But yes.
Oh, that's nice. And when is the wedding? Because that's this month, isn't it?
No, the wedding was like last year.
Oh, I thought it was just coming up. I thought.
No. So we've been together for 15 years.
Okay.
So
I thought for some reason that you were just getting married this year. What were you doing this year in July?
Sorry?
I said, what were you doing this year in July? Because her and I were talking about something, and I was sure it was a wedding, and I thought it was yours.
No. Basically, we started seeing each other in June 15 years ago. So technically, it's our 15-year just getting together anniversary.
Okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was an anniversary. Okay. See, Dory's behind. I don't catch all these things. I don't know if you missed out. I made an ass of myself at KetoCon.
Well, I saw some pictures and I just got a mail from somebody who you met and they said you spoke very highly of me, so thank you.
Oh, I adore you, dude. I speak highly of you everywhere I go. I couldn't love your stuff more. I really couldn't. And I can't lie. I've been telling a few people they should message you to do a live.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always up for doing, these live collabs because,
Well, it's so much
a little
fun.
boring when I do mine.
And just the fact that we can literally chat from the other side of the world, I'm just impressed by my own self.
Yeah, technology is a wonderful thing.
Yes. So let's do a few questions and let's see. I'm going to take a quick scroll on Instagram and see if anybody's asked anything particular for you. And then I'm going to take a quick peek on my Facebook as well and see. Because if anybody has questions, I don't really want to miss them. And I do have a couple from my group too. I can't lie. My people love you. They always want to know, when are we getting more recipes? What are our recipes going to be? So this week, I saw you're doing an Indian food fiesta, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I've got the Indian Food Week going on. It's been on since, I think now, this is the third week running, probably, yeah. Because I do 2 recipes each week, one on Monday, one on Wednesday. So
I have to tell you, Super Cruel Riff says it looks like I'm really into you, dude.
Yeah, I saw his comments. I was giggling a little bit when I saw that.
That totally makes me giggle. I can't say it doesn't make me giggle. And I can't lie, I fangirl over you. I love your recipes. I always have. I get a little geeky fangirl. In my last live, I was like, it's almost like he's New Kids on the Block or something. Like, really, Dory?
Yeah. A lot of people from the different generation will be like, what?
New Kids on the Who now? Yeah, we won't age Dory that much. We'll just say some of us are old, Sahil. Some of us are old.
Hey, I know New Kids from the Blogs. It's from my generation as well.
I know. I think we're pretty close to the same age. I'm 42. So I think we're pretty close.
I'm 36.
Okay, see, I shouldn't have said mine first. I should have made you go first, and then I could just pretend I was younger. Well, I'm 38, Sahil.
Yes, and you don't look a day over 35.
See, that's why we're friends. Like, that it right there, that's why we're friends. You lie to me so good. I love it.
I'm very good at lying.
Yeah. So I'm going to check and see if we have any comments, any questions on my Facebook. I'm seeing comments, but I'm not seeing any questions. So if anybody has any questions, and somebody wants to know why I'm so interested in your life, I'm just nosy, dude. I just, I have to have all the information,
There are some people, so hello to everybody who's watching. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes. So I want to ask you, of the recipe videos that you've made, what's your favorite? Because we all have a baby that's our favorite.
Yes, I think mine would be the bacon bomb. That still is my go-to recipe. Even though it works even for not keto people. Like I had a party a few weeks ago, and like I had a few friends over, and it's a pretty heavy dish. The bacon bomb is like a big dish. I brought it out. It literally got over in 15 seconds flat. Like the plates cleared.
Do you know what that happens every time I go to a party and bring keto food too? I go to a party thinking, well, I better bring something so that there's an option for me to eat. And then my food is gone before everybody else's. And we laugh.
Yeah.
You don't want this diet food. You probably don't want it. Yeah. It's only really awesome.
Yeah, everyone loves keto food.
They do, which is what makes me giggle that everybody's so resistant to start keto. Because if I bring it to a party, everybody's all about it. It's the good food. It's what goes first. So let's talk about that. When people message you and say, Sahil, I've been thinking about starting keto. Where do I start? What do you tell people step one to starting a new way of eating is?
Well, my first thing to tell them is go to my YouTube channel and watch my Keto 101 series, because I can't answer the same damn question 100 times. It's just ridiculous.
You can't?
So I send them to the video link, and I, sort of let them have a watch and decide whether. And that's the thing. I think keto is, not necessarily for everyone. They got to sort of evaluate their life and see, whether they want to do it and whether it makes sense for them,
Yes.
It's completely a personal choice, just like it is for somebody to eat vegetarian or to eat, pescatarian or vegan or whatever. So, I asked them, why do you want to start keto? And that was one of the videos I actually did, Are you doing keto just because you see everybody else doing it and you're jumping on the bandwagon? Are you genuinely interested in exploring the health benefits? Do you have some health problems that you're looking to find a solution for? So that's my perspective on it. I don't try and sell keto to people like, this is the best way to live, or this is the best diet and you must do it and everything else is kind of wrong. So that's my take on it, at least, and that's why I let them go and watch the videos. I let them understand what it entails and figure out why they want to do it and see if that's the right decision for them.
Awesome. And I agree. You don't need to be knocking on people's doors saying, hey, have you heard the good keto word? You can you could just show them how awesome you are, and trust me, people are going to come up to you and say, what are you doing? What's this glow all about, you, Dory? How come you look so fabulous? Dish. Tell me everything you do.
True that.
So today when we were talking with Wendy, we were talking about learning how to keto your way. Learning how to figure out what ingredients work for your body and what doesn't. So the concept that just simply, hey, Sahil, what do you eat every day? I'm going to copy what you eat. That isn't really keto. It's about figuring out what works for you. So I'm curious, in your keto journey, have you come across anything like my peanut butter issue where you're like, oh, I don't eat that anymore?
Well, my case is a little different because, as you know, I do recipes all the time. So I very rarely actually eat the same thing over and over again. And to be honest, I don't really have any issues with any kind of food, thankfully, except chilies, which I don't like.
I don't like them.
So, but apart from that, I've never had any food issues as such where I've had to I can't eat this on keto. I pretty much can eat whatever I want on keto, and that sort of works for me, But yeah, you're right. For a lot of people, certain foods themselves are the problem, and not necessarily the diet that they're on or the way of eating. Someone's allergic to nuts, if they're allergic to I don't know, whatever else, dairy maybe. Yeah, so you got to figure it out for yourself.
Excellent. Now, one of the questions that I get in my group all the time, and I'm sure you get in your group all the time, is, hey, I've hit a stall. What should I do?
Yeah, all the time. How many times? So many times that I made a video about it. 5 reasons that you're stalled on keto.
So what are the 5 reasons that we get stalled on keto?
Well, actually, it's not the 5 reasons you get stalled, but the 5 things you need to do. So one is sort of not obsess about the scale.
Okay.
Because you might be losing inches, your body might be recompositioning. Maybe you have to stall, maybe you need to recalculate your macros. That's another thing,
Okay.
So if you were 250 pounds and you calculated your macros and now you're like 170 pounds, you can't work with the same macros and expect change to happen,
Yes.
Maybe take a cheat day, kick your body out of ketosis and shock it back into it, so it sort of has to then readapt, and it works to break a stall sometimes.
Okay.
And the other thing is just reevaluate what you are actually eating and see if there are any hidden carbs in there. Maybe you're just consuming too much food,
Yes. Okay.
So, plenty of reasons.
We have a question. What are the lower carb veggies that can be used in a curry? What are your favorites? And then we'll kind of run by some of the lower carb. But what are your favorite for a curry?
Well, I would, depending on what curry I'm making, I would use probably things like eggplant, zucchini. Well, I don't get asparagus in India, but I would love to put asparagus in a curry.
Okay.
I'd love to put spinach, mushrooms. That's my go-to list of vegetables. I don't really eat much other than those veggies, the basics. But yeah, any of that will go in, Also, it's the quantity. Like if you want to have a slightly higher carb vegetable, you can totally put it in there. Just make sure that in proportion to the other vegetables, it's lower in quantity.
Okay. Food in My DNA would like to know, what's the best fruit for ketogenic diet?
Well, I guess it's the holy trinity of berries: strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries.
Okay. And sometimes
That's
blueberries. We do the blueberries too.
Yes.
I'm in maintenance mode, so I allow myself a little low carb fruit as well. So that would be anything under 10 grams of carbs. So for me, that includes things like cantaloupe, honeydew, and watermelon in very small quantities. So they're not technically a keto fruit, but they're low carb. So if you're more low carb / paleo, or if you're like me, where you're in maintenance mode and you can have just a little bit, I allow myself those as well, just the lower carb fruits. So that's for me. But again, because I'm in maintenance mode, I'm not in weight loss mode anymore. And I'd like to maybe talk a little bit about that. Maintenance mode. Do you have a plan for maintenance mode? Is it something you're just going to kind of tackle it when you come across it?
Well, you see, my biggest problem in life has been that I go out of the country too often. So when I travel with the sole purpose of eating food.
Yes.
Which means I'm not on keto when I'm on holiday. Which means I'm eating 3 meals instead of 2 meals. I'm not intermittent fasting, and I'm literally eating like 1,000 calories more than my normal keto way of eating.
Yes.
So for me, what's actually been happening is I've been yo-yoing on a certain. So if just for example, I was 65 kilos before the holiday, I'll come back to 68 kilos, and then I got to lose the 3 kilos before I go on the next vacation. So that's not the best, I know, but life's too short, so I don't break my head over it too much. I just make sure that when I'm on keto, I'm on it proper, and and I've added things like exercise to my routine. I try and be more active. So, and when I eat on vacation, I'm not necessarily eating the most unhealthy food, actually, not all the time at least.
Yeah. Well, and for you, you're metabolically flexible. That's the science word for what it is. But it just basically means you can go off plan and it doesn't make you sick. You can eat keto, you can pop in out of ketosis, pop out of ketosis. You know, you could eat a bun tomorrow and it won't make you sick. Whereas some people, once they eliminate, then they try to bring back and they're sick. Like, sick. Either you can't go to the bathroom or you can't stop going to the bathroom. So not everybody gets to kind of slide in and out of one way of eating or another. So I'm always just slightly jealous when people are really flexible that way and they can kind of just come and go. Come and go, baby. But that's the beauty of it too, right? If you want to pick something that's sustainable for the rest of your life, then you need to come to terms with the fact that, you know what, every day you're not going to eat 100% perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if, you know, when we talk about the long term, I think even for me at some point, I would probably switch over to low carb, you know, over keto, simply because I think it allows you a little more flexibility than keto. Like, as much as I love keto, you know, because look, the thing is, in keto you're fueling your body with fat, so it does involve a lot of you know, dietary fat at some point, you know, when you're in maintenance mode and all that. And I don't think that, coupled with carbohydrates in and out in a short period, like when I do it, I'm like off for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Last time I was off for a month before I got back, so it was a good enough period. But if you start like, if the periods are much shorter, it's not a good idea because you're not going to get into keto fast enough. So it's probably better to eat low carb and low fat, you know, good fats. So I think we've already made that most important change in our life, which is eliminating lots of bad fats out of it, like the hydrogenated vegetable oils. Like, I'm never going back to that, no matter what happens. Even if I'm not keto and I'm eating bread and butter, that's gone, you know. My sweet tooth has been altered to not crave the same kind of desserts that I did. So there are, you've learned a lot of things, you know. So there's always a positive takeaway from doing keto, even if you actually completely just get off it, you know. You already changed your way of eating, you know. No more are you eating out of cans and jars and prepackaged food. You're already on like good food, you know.
Well, and I agree.
Fresh veggies.
You'll never go back. You can't unring that bell. You may decide one day you want to go back to carbs, but I can promise you, you're never going to go back to vegetable oil. You're never going to go back to, you know, 6 spoons of sugar in your coffee. You're never going to go back to, you know, 3, 4, 6 diet pops a day. Because once you learn about those things, you don't. And before keto, I'll tell you what, everything I ever ate came out of a box or a can. Everything.
Whoa.
It did. Even my homemade stuff. I'd be like, oh, look, I'm making homemade spaghetti. So you take a can of spaghetti sauce and a can of tomatoes, and you add your meat and your spices, and I was like, look, homemade. Call me Betty Crocker, baby. Kneel down, kneel before me. I made this for you. And then you take out, you know, a box of pasta and you boil it up and you're like, oh, look, I slaved all day. But everything I ate came out of a box. And now when I make my spaghetti sauce, it's fresh tomatoes, it's fresh peppers, it's, you know, fresh celery, and I cook it up. And it's just as quick as opening up a can and heating it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say one thing though, like in India, there's a cultural thing that I should say we're grateful for, is that most people here can actually afford a house help, you know.
Yes.
So everybody has like a cook, you know, or even if it's just like a family setting, there's always like a stay-home mom or a stay-home dad who cooks the food. So I think that in that sense, most Indians get the opportunity to eat freshly cooked food every day and are more sort of away from eating like out of a can or a box, you know. The real problem here has started now when people have sort of adopted a more Western living style.
It's
so
our
to speak,
fault.
You know, where
it is. It is our fault. It is, because you know what? It started here, you know, around the time that I was a kid was when things like TV dinners came out. And back in the day, you would put them in the oven. But they were the big thing when I was a kid. It was convenient. It was extra family time with your family. It was just this awesome foil tray that you put in the oven, and then you got to have quality family time. And that was the start for those kind of products. And then here they started marketing that as, oh, have more time for your family. Save money in meal prep. Save time in meal prep. Spend that precious time with your family instead of slaving in the kitchen. Why spend a half an hour making dinner when you can heat that up in 5?
Yeah. Yeah, here, like I said, it's even, like, I think a lot of it was like women didn't go to work, you know, like if you see, my mom's a housewife. Pretty much every single one of my friends' mom doesn't work as such. That was the thing to do. So there was never an issue to cook. And even now, when there are couples who have, you know, so in India, a lot of people live with their families because it's just normal. You know, like I live with my folks, and it's not really a big deal. Also, plus the rent in the city is ridiculous. But because people live with their families, getting food made at home is not such a task. And even today, when couples like sort of move out and live alone and have more of an independent lifestyle, this they can still afford like a maid to come and cook in the morning and things like that. So that's one thing that we have in India, which thankfully, you know, I mean it exists. So you don't have like the people who are the maids who come and cook. You'll never see them have an obesity problem because they don't have that kind of food, you know. Even McDonald's and KFC in India, it's because it's Western food. Like a hamburger is not something an Indian wants to eat. You know, your average Indian who's the working class, you know, who's not probably economically well off. So now McDonald's has done like literally everything to market that shit to them. You know, we don't have beef burgers in India, in McDonald's.
Okay.
We have all chicken and veggie burgers, you know.
Okay.
And, you know what the price of a soft serve cone is in McDonald's?
You were saying it was ridiculously cheap, like insanely, like should be illegal cheap.
It is less than 1 cent, I think.
And that's ridiculous. Like, you know that's because they're trying to get people addicted. Like, you pass out little bags of crack cocaine on the corner to get people to come back to you, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They still, like, I still don't, I think in America, McDonald's is still like people will skip the house meal and eat McDonald's as a day-to-day food even.
Yes.
But in India, yeah, the working class people here will still, the McDonald's is that thing on Sunday they may take their family for. So it's not yet infiltrated that level, even though they're trying them. I mean, the prices of McDonald's, Domino's and KFC is ridiculously low. But it's still, as a food, it's a posh Westerner item. It's not like, you know, I think that's probably the case in Southeast Asia as well. You know, it's a certain class, economically well off people that actually consider this as food they'd want to eat, you know?
Yes.
So
and you know what? The other day I was at the grocery store with my kid and cream eggs were on sale, and I looked at it and I went, is it still poison if it's on sale really cheap? Like, is it still bad for me? Because that's like so cheap. And that's how they get you. Yeah. They make it cheap. They make it quick. They make it convenient. And that's how our McDonald's started too. You know, you used to be able to get a 49-cent hamburger. It's not cheap like that anymore. They hook you and then they start raising the prices. Like, if I was to tell you the price of a Big Mac meal here, you'd laugh. Like, a Big Mac meal here with the fries is about $9 Canadian, which would work out to about $13 American. So that's like,
that's expensive
for you guys. That's like $40.
Yeah, that's expensive. So the funny thing is, and I will say it without much flip flaps, I actually hit McDonald's in the UK because I had to. Like,
yeah.
So when you're on tour, you don't have a choice. Like at 1 a.m., McDonald's is the only place that's open.
That's it.
And yeah, they have their cheapest burger in the UK is £1. The standard single burger, It was like £1, so that's, I guess, like less than $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember years ago I used to watch Oprah when I still had a cable connection.
Yeah.
Before Netflix and chill happened.
Right.
I used to watch while my mom would watch Oprah. I would also always watch with her. And yeah, I remember at one point broccoli was more expensive in America than a McDonald's burger. And I was like, what?
It is crazy like that here. It is more expensive to go to a restaurant and order a salad than it is to order a burger, a fries, and a pop. Like, it's absolutely crazy how expensive it is to eat healthy. And it isn't much different at the grocery store either. I mean, you spend a lot on fresh vegetables and fresh fruit, but at the end of the day, it's worth it because you're putting good fuel in your body. I mean, I can get a bag of potato chips for, a big family bag for 98 cents. But it's not good food for my family, so there's a reason why it's cheap, right? There's a reason why it's super, super cheap. And you know what? Back in the day when I used to buy a lot of chips, I bought like 6 or 8 bags a week for my family. Like, I would get 3 bags, 4 bags for my boyfriend, 2-3 bags for my kid, and that was a regular. Like, half of my cart was potato chips before.
Well, that way I really owe, I need to thank my mother because while growing up, I mean, we did have chips, we did have Coke, Pepsi, everything. But my mom, she was like, you're only allowed, like, this many chips. Or, like, you're allowed Coke on Saturday. Just one Coke on Saturday. Like, even the biscuits we got after school were rationed out. My mom would, like, you can't eat more than 2 biscuits of each kind and you can only have, like, 4 biscuits in total. And because of that, like when I see my friends eating an entire bar of chocolate or an entire packet of biscuits, I would be like, how is that even possible? Like even today, even though I have the permission, there are all these commercials where you see people open up a bar of chocolate and they eat the entire bar.
Yeah.
I just cannot eat more than 2 pieces. It feels wrong.
Oh, right. I love it. So we had a question on Instagram and it was, I'm in maintenance mode. Is it okay to add a little bit of quinoa to my diet daily? Now, I don't know if I would add it daily because that's a lot of carbs. And if it doesn't affect you, I would say add a little bit. If it does, pull back on it. But what would you say if somebody asked you that? Is quinoa okay in maintenance mode?
No. So I would say, look, if you are planning to stay in keto maintenance mode, then quinoa is a no.
Yes.
But if you want, you can switch to low carb and then get the high fat out of there and add the quinoa then with few good fats. But it's a lot of reworking your diet then to fit it into that low carb, because the thing is, for a lot of people, I feel, and this is me too, the problem is not doing the low carb. The problem is because the low carb allows you that leeway.
Yes.
Today it's quinoa, but tomorrow when you're just feeling a little messed up in the day, you're not going to snack on that quinoa. You're going to attack that white bread and be like, yeah, I'm low carb, so it's not going to kick me out of any ketosis. But and that's what I realized my problem is. It's not that it's being low carb is not the problem. The problem is that if you give me an inch, I take a foot.
Oh, that's me, dude. I would fall right into the if it fits my macros, and I'd be like, whatever, I can have a half a slice of white bread. You don't know me. It fits my macros. You're not the boss of me.
The problem is that and that one slice, and because carbs are like that, carbs can leave you after an hour feeling peckish and nibbly, and so then you're automatically like, okay, I had half bread, now who wants to leave half a slice in the bread box, Might as well finish it.
May as well.
Yeah. Can't waste food. There's starving children in Africa. That white bread, no matter how unhealthy it is, I can't finish it.
Right?
So,
you can't throw stuff away. I was raised like that. Were you raised like that? We don't waste food. Mama doesn't pay to feed the garbage can. Eat what's given to you. Finish your plate. These are all things I heard as a kid.
Yeah. I have eaten so many of my cooking disasters. It's not even funny. Like, I just do not like wasting food. So if I made something and it's disgusting, I will still just finish it
Right?
quickly.
Okay, so what do you do when we crave chocolate after a meal? Dark chocolate just doesn't curb the craving. She's craving something like a Twix bar. So I would suggest maybe making a fat bomb as opposed to just eating chocolate. But what would your suggestion be if she's craving a Twix?
Well, I'd say like you said, it's make a keto dessert that can kill your cravings. Otherwise, just go to the bathroom and brush your teeth and wash your face and go like...
Wash it off. Shake it off, baby.
Yeah, just shake it off.
Go to bed early and wake up tomorrow not craving chocolate?
Yeah, literally something like that. But I found that having a mint immediately after my meal, like a sugar-free mint, generally, once you have that fresh mouthfeel, you kind of like, okay, I don't want to ruin this with like some food or dessert or whatever.
Yes, awesome. So I guess we probably should wrap up. We're a little over on time, but let us know, do you have anything coming up next week? Anything later this week that we need to be watching out for your page for, your YouTube channel?
Yes, tomorrow you will get a brand new recipe. So there will be some beef involved in it, and there will be some curry leaves involved. So yes, I mean every Monday, every Wednesday, I have new recipe videos. Every Friday is a Keto 101 video, and yeah, the content keeps flowing on Headbanger's Kitchen.
Awesome, and we love it. And tell us where we can find your Facebook group too, because I know some people don't even know you have a Facebook group.
Okay, well, I do have a Facebook group, and if you plan to ask me to join it, please answer the questions that are asked. Yes. Otherwise, I won't let you in.
That's it, you can't come in.
For Headbangers, yeah. Just look for Headbangers Kitchen on Facebook, you'll find it.
Awesome. And thank you so much for your time, Sahil. And I have one last question for you. What is your favorite number between 1 and 30?
Ooh. I think my favorite number would be 21.
21. I'm going to message it to myself because Dory's slightly dyslexic and I forget numbers. So I'm going to message it to myself. Number 21. Now, this is what we're going to do. We have a prize pack to give away for your live from Further Food. So I'm going to load this video up on YouTube. I want you guys to share it, comment that you shared it, and lucky number share comment 21 is going to win the prize pack. Yay! So in like 5 minutes, I'll have it up on YouTube and you guys can win.
Awesome sauce.
Yes, thank you so much for your time again, and we'll have to do it soon. Have a great day, doll. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.
My pleasure. Bye.
Okay, guys, let's get us a quick tune to dance out to. I hope that was as much fun for you as it was for me, because, man, I love that guy. He is so awesome. He makes the best food, and I'll tell you what, if you don't already know who Sahil is and you don't follow him, I don't know, I may have to withhold my friendship from you. I don't like to play that card. You know I don't like to play that card, but it might be the only card I have. Just saying. So I'm going to get us a quick tune to dance out to, and we're going to have an awesome night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning for Working Out with Wendy.
First, you've got to get mad. Oh, yeah, get up. You know what? Get up out of your chair. Go to the window. Open your door, stick your head out, and yell. I ain't gonna be cooking all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama.
Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.